Hello, students. So the purpose of this recording is to catch you up if you missed a lesson and get you up to speed on the assignment. So our lesson objective for the day that you missed is we will be able to curate a selection of artworks that include a reasonably credible theme-based narrative. We're just looking at themes in artwork and connecting them. This is sort of a practice for researching and eventually presenting an artwork that you have researched. In order to introduce us to these ideas, I have a Google form here for you to fill out. I'm going to briefly explain it, and then I want you to pause the video if you can and do it then, rather than waiting until the video is over, because this is an introduction to the assignment, and so it wouldn't make a lot of sense to do this after knowing about all of the assignment and doing the research and everything. So yeah, just this, you don't need to Google or research anything here. We're just brainstorming, thinking of some popular art you know about. I gave examples of the Mona Lisa, the Statue of David, just, anything you may have seen in your own experience in a museum or, on TV, movies, read about, anything like that. Write those down and then think of what they have in common. Did you pick a few portraits? Did you pick a few paintings that are landscapes or sculptures, religious? Are they the same artist if you know that? Or are they the same region? Like, are they all from Italy? Things like that. Once again, you don't need to Google, but just list any connections you can think of off the top of your head. After you've done that, you're going to use those connections to write a one-sentence based theme. For example, the one that I did was the works I've chosen are a collection of famous portraits. That's a pretty simple theme, and you can do a simple one, especially because if it's off the top of your head, you may have not picked ones that go together perfectly. But just any kind of theme that you can think of right now will be totally fine. And the reason I had you do that is to practice for the serious research that we did. In class, they got into groups and researched this. Since you'll be doing this at home, probably not getting into groups, but totally fine. You can do it alone. Similar idea to the form, though. We're still thinking about artworks. I'd like you to look for at least 3 that you can talk about and identify a theme in. You can use the same ones you wrote on your Google form, or you might like to find new ones if you struggled to pick any theme or commonalities in them. But this time, we're not just brainstorming. I'd like you to actually do some research this time. And when you're doing that research, look for facts and other information that seems relevant, but mainly you want to find something relevant to that theme. If you picked works that are all by the same artists, then, find out some information about those artists you can tell me about. Maybe they're from the same place, same, city, country, time period, things like that. And make sure you write that down. So for research, since this is just this isn't going to be a super advanced, 10-page essay kind of thing. Google's fine if you just find, any articles or journals on Google about these artworks. Those will work. I'd like you to, cite them basically. It doesn't have to be a ton of information. Museum websites are a good source. If you have access to a library, JSTOR, Art Store are great examples of places you can find a ton of information, articles, and I'll come back to this because it will help you for citing artwork, which should have been our last lesson, but still can help you and will have some good tools. They said goodbye to their groups. You won't have to do that. So the assignment itself you are allowed to pick how you want to tell me about the things you researched, but that's what the assignment will be, telling me about what you researched. If you want to do more of an essay format, that's fine. A Google Doc, Word doc, PDF, or a slideshow is another option if you prefer to do something more visual. Um, Even still, if you do an essay, I will need to still have the pictures that you talked about included. Um, and if you don't want to write, that's totally fine. A short video is also perfectly fine. But I will still need to see the works. If you can put them on the screen in the video somehow, or if you just want to email something like that um, with the video attached, just so I can see what you're talking about. And what I need to see from that research is I need to know the name of the piece, the artist, the medium, the year. Like I said, our last lesson should have been, we should have talked about how to cite these artworks properly, but I'll show you a quick way to do that too. And I need to know the subject of the art, just basically describe it. It doesn't have to be super descriptive if it's not about the subject, if you're doing the artist. But if you are talking about the subject, that should be the main point of your topic. Um, but anything that connects to the theme you chose and the other artworks is what you should be telling me mostly about, and any other relevant information. And yes, visuals are necessary. I need to see the images that you're talking about. Um, really tell me that theme. So this is an example of what I'd like to see. Um, you have, so background information. Let's say I was doing mine on Salvador Dali, so I'd pick 3 artworks from him that I liked, and I would include some information like I did here about how he was a Spanish artist who is regarded as a pioneer of the Surrealist movement. I have a picture, I need to see that, and I need the citations. All of this information is really important. So, like I said, that's what we should have talked about a bit in our last lesson. But in case you don't remember how to do that, really handy tool is if you're using a something like a library resource, or you can Google something like this. They oftentimes have really easy ways to cite it. So we can just click cite here. And then what we use in the art world is going to be the Chicago style. You can just copy that and, text box, put it here, copy paste. That's what I did for that. So it's perfectly fine to do that. Um, so yeah, that is the assignment. And if you're interested and want to make sure you do it right and get all those points, I have the rubric right here for you, and that should be included in our lesson plan on the Google Classroom. So thank you for watching this, and good luck on your assignment, and have a good day.